Hola, bonjour, and good day, Governor. You are listening to Worldwide Tea. It is the international drag race podcast where every single week we cover all the international seasons of RuPaul's Drag Race that are going on. As always, I am Evan Sawdey from Pop Batters.
I'm Gregory Ellwood from the playlist, sometimes the LA Times. Evan, really quickly, and for those of us watching on YouTube, um, we're about to talk about Drag Race UK. Didn't Bag of Chips do something where she like put her finger
Much
up?
better.
Much
Much better.
better. That's what it
Yeah,
is. Uh,
absolutely.
well, I don't
Uh,
know if we're much better after watching this episode,
Oh my God.
but
Well, listen. Oh, here, let's just do a couple things real quick before we get into
yeah,
the episode, season 7, episode 2 of Drag Race UK. And for the record, if in case y'all haven't noticed, we are splitting up our coverage by the individual seasons, so you can just listen to one episode and hear that coverage as you want. But please listen to all of them; they're all great because we also have our Station Royale coverage wrapping up as well as España. It's some fun times, but most importantly, in this House of Love, we believe that all drag is valid and no queen ever deserves online hate. And as American entertainment journalists, we may not get every cultural reference, and we always appreciate corrections. And there were some truly great queens who aren't good at Drag Race, and we celebrate them all the same. With that said, Gregory, I am worried. I am so worried about this season. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to put that out there. I think we talked about it the other week of the potential of maybe it's the even numbered seasons that are going to be better than the odd numbered ones in UK. And we're 2 episodes into season 7, and I think it's bearing out that way. I don't
hey,
know.
Evan, are you dreaming of the nights and afternoons and days of Ella Day? Would you wish for Ella Day to be back on your screen?
I, you say that, and yes, I would. I would like Ella of the Day back on my screen because what are we gonna do? We're gonna celebrate Crystal Versace. We're gonna celebrate a kid's
Yes.
got claws. We saw how that went.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well,
Anyways,
that turned out to be an underrated season, didn't it? A little bit of an underrated season.
It was rated, and I think properly
Yeah.
so. Let's also not forget, Greg. I'm not sure if you saw the same thing I saw, which is, the end all and be all of all things important with Drag Race is the IMDb individual episode ratings. And the
Oh
UK season
no.
7 premiere had one of the lowest, one of the
Lowest.
tied for number 3 is one of the lowest starts in a franchise ever. So fans
Yeah.
aren't loving it.
Nope. By the way, I don't think that there'll be a fashion photo review of Drag Race UK. Like, or maybe there was. There may. Oh no, there was one. Yep, they are doing it. They're just not doing it for España because whatever. Anyway, let's start at the end of the last episode. The queens come back into the workroom, and Patsy, who was saved by
Patsy.
the lucky clap cow, gets a
Lucky clap cat.
not
Yes.
Patsy, Patsy,
Pasty.
Patsy,
Pasty.
Pasty.
Yes.
Oh my God, gets a lucky cow sash that she can now wear for every gay pride that she goes to from now on. How did you feel about her getting a sash?
Woo! The spoiler that was of last week, the secret sash that she got.
Yes.
I truly, truly do not care. Viola, meanwhile, Viola has feelings about this non-elimination. She's like, can't we just get rid of some of these girls already? And Viola just she makes a beeline for main character energy right out the gate. She decides, you know what? I'm tired of just being a talking head. I want to be not just the Queen of the Universe failure. I want to be the giant talking point of the season out of nowhere. So it's like, okay, Viola, let's see what you got. It sets us up, Greg. It sets us up. It's called
Y-
foretelling.
It is foretelling, and you know what I'll say? In hindsight, at least they knew what personality they were casting. At least they knew
Uh,
someone was going to like give a little like drama and unexpected. I don't know if unexpected is the right word, but like unnecessary drama. And
mhm.
also you missed the kicker. She literally said, "I wanted Pat." She said about Pasty. She wanted her to go home. Like she
Yeah.
called her out. It was like, whoa, you've known this girl for 48 hours and you already wanted to go home. But anyway, we find out who all the queens voted for the Lucky Cow, which
Mhm.
does create some inherent drama. I made notes. Are you curious, Evan,
Oh,
about
s- sure.
so
What else we got to talk
uh so Katrin, Bones, Bonnie, and Shara all voted to save Patsy. Those were her four friends. Sally, Elle, and Viola voted to save Tayris.
about? Yeah.
Skrillex, and I'm sorry, I'm still calling her Skrillex, And page three were the only two to vote for Neon Bella. And I think one of them, I think they know her from a little bit from the
Hmm.
London scene. And not Neon Bella says, and she says, as my fave, which by the way is Naomi Smalls. She goes, life's not fair. She pulls out the Naomi Smalls quote. So compared to last week when we thought maybe she didn't watch the show because of her Marie Antoinette runway, she
Hmm.
clearly has watched many episodes. So
Hmm.
she's doing her thing, but also they're sort of giving her a nice edit. They're letting her like be humble about like being the
Right.
one queen to not be saved. What did you think about those votes, Evan?
I don't care. It's the thing where it's
Whoa.
like at this point, like, I understand there might be some power to the cow, but again, since none of that's revealed at the end. Well, it also, to be fair, as much as this is inherent drama, Greg, the lucky cow is put out to pasture already.
Of
The
course.
lucky cow is not coming back. It has been suspended, as we find out later on. So now it's just going to be regular eliminations until I'm sure it'll be narratively convenient to bring it back again. So I'm not saying that there's already some production level fuckery on here. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Evan, are
Out
you
there.
telling me that they Rue fake eliminated Pasty or so that she could then know that the votes were that she would be saved so they could not send home a queen?
I
Wow.
think this is some galaxy brain type. This is a beautiful mind. Numbers,
I
letters,
yeah,
flashing
so much
before
stuff.
me. Exactly.
All I know is they
Uh,
come back in the next workroom and Viola's
yep.
ego is even bigger than it was the day before. She says
Mm-hmm.
she can do it all, Evan. Everything.
Mm-hmm.
She is the
Mm-hmm.
queen of queens.
Mm-hmm. And also at this, also Ella at the table also says that this isn't got to be my only win. And I'm like, okay. Cool. Who knows? Maybe UK Susie Toot will do something along those lines. But yeah, Viola very much is happy. I was about to say, like, is this her? She kind of like is a big speech. I'm like, is she trying to be Maxi? Is she trying to
Yeah,
be Siam? Like, I'm not sure what's happening over here. We're getting a whole lot of something over here. But wait, Greg, she's not the only queen. She's not the only new queen to enter the workroom. Let me tell you, there's a new queen who joins us this week.
it is. It is the one and only Raven looking fantastic.
Lexi, genuinely, I love this look on her. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, she looked amazing. Um, and and their Rue is also there, and they are doing. So this is what's really interesting. They are
Raven's
doing
there, and
a
also Rue.
and Rue
Yeah.
also wearing the same outfit from last week. She's still wearing that suit. It's the
Yeah.
same cut, like male suit thing, literally the same one. I don't know if I've ever
Okay.
seen her duplicate the same suit 2 episodes in a row. Sort of wild.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's going to give all sorts of people thinking that they shot both episodes in the same day.
In
They did
10
not
days.
in 10
Yeah.
days. Anyway, they're doing a mini challenge, which is a spoof of the Traders. They're calling it the Tainters. So here's the thing that's so weird about this. In the UK, the Traders is on the BBC. This
Yeah.
is a BBC show, Drag Race UK. In the US, Drag Race's mortal enemy is the Traders. And
Mm-hmm.
they're on different networks. They are
Mm-hmm.
competitors.
Mm-hmm.
And I know for a fact that they don't love all the attention that the Traders has gotten and how it's taken some of their queens and used them to, especially Bob this past season to create like get more
Monet
attention and
upcoming.
Monet,
Yep.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a little weird to see them like to see Rue and Raven like all like let's do
Let's
this
go,
Traders move.
traders.
It was a
Yeah.
little weird. Um,
But then again, we also had I was in a Slasian. No, no, no. It was in one of the seasons that we saw earlier in the year where they referenced Dragula, which we also know is somewhat of a taboo subject. Who knows? Maybe we're gonna get a reference to Manila Luzon's Drag Den next. I don't know.
never
Who
know.
knows what they're going to say?
You never
Wilder
know.
times have happened. But the cool thing about this mini challenge is that even though this is a vote for who you think is busted, who you think is great kind of thing, they all have to dress up for it. So everybody puts on their best Claudia Winkleman, and it's just wild to see the various iterations of her clear to pale lipstick that she does. Some people do a very nice invisible coat. Some people do the full smear. It's a really wild and potentially disturbing sight to see.
And for those listening who have never watched an episode or are unaware of the Traders UK, Claudia Winkleman is the host. Alan Cumming hosts it in the US. Claudia is a very different host than Alan. She gives much
100%.
different energy. So she's a little more curt, I believe would be correct.
Hmm.
But anyway, they do these votes for these categories, and I actually thought this was fun. I actually love these. Like, especially when
Yeah.
it's this early and they barely know each other, or they're pretending to barely know each other. Most distasteful, which was basically who was up. They needed Raven to explain them. Like,
Yes.
basically, Rue would say it, and then Raven would explain what it was for, I guess, worldwide viewers. Um,
Yeah.
which basically is who is a hot mess. Patsy wins with the
Uh-huh.
most votes. Again, feeling really bad for, sorry, Pasty.
Yeah.
Pasty wins. I'm gonna call her Patsy for the rest of, like, for her long
You
reign.
don't have to, you don't have to worry about that for too long, Greg. Don't worry.
Uh, Most beautiful was sort of close actually, but
Hmm.
Bones wins with only 5 votes.
I agree.
Um, Most painful meanings pain in the ass. Shockingly or not shockingly, and there's only
Siam Prushi, crazy. I don't know how
oh
she won that vote.
no.
Incredible. How did they keep
Oh,
treating her so
Siam
poorly? How dare?
Pushy.
But no, it goes to her equivalent, Viola,
With
who, after making an ass of herself this morning. Oh, go ahead.
9 votes. Nine
Nine
out of,
votes.
I think there's 11 queens. Like,
Yeah.
that's, and she didn't vote for herself. So that means only one queen didn't vote for her. Think about
Hmm.
that, guys. And she also says, "You're all nasty, nasty bitches,"
Yeah.
which only
Well,
endears her more.
yeah. Main character, baby. But most delightful is up next, Greg, who ends up taking that title, that self-explanatory title.
Um, which Raven has to say means best vibes. Like,
Yeah.
okay. Uh,
Thank you.
and this was also super close, but our little Belfast darling, Elle wins with just 4 votes. Super, it was
Hmm.
like spread out. And most faithful, which basically is which queen is the next bitch going home,
Hmm.
once again goes to Patsy with
Hmm.
9 votes, meaning only one
Hmm.
queen didn't vote for her. I have to tell you, I have not watched a season in so long where I thought a queen was pigeonholed and told they were going home, like every possible, like, gaslit is not the right term because gaslit actually means something else, but people would think it would be gaslit, into going home more than a pasty. It is blowing my mind. I do not think she's that bad a queen. I don't think her drag is that bad, and we're gonna get to the runway stuff. And maybe she should have gone home or lip synced, but I have so many thoughts, but I'm just teasing it now that this is why at least I am frustrated with the season already.
You know who it reminded me of? It reminded me of another iconic season that maybe will be the quality equivalent. But Canada season 5, because let's not forget, in the first episode, two of our bottom queens
Oh,
were Terra Nova and Tiffany and Co. They were saved in the first episode because it's the top two lip sync. Then they had to lip sync against each other. Terra Nova went home super fucking early because there was an advertising challenge episode 2, and then Tiffany and Co. went home the week after. But that's kind of the energy it's giving. It's giving just May from season 4 of UK. This is giving
yep.
like
Okay,
you're
but just
clearly
May was bad.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
just May
Right,
was
yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Also, who
She
is the
she's
other
she's
queen?
actually, I think, a very funny queen. She just wasn't ready for the drag race format at all. Like, I think the stuff I've seen with her afterwards is crazy. She was not going to be a drag race girly, and it was almost unfair to cast her in that sense too. Terra Nova
Also,
maybe had a shot, but no, it didn't work out.
who
Yeah.
was the Islamic queen who went home in on Canada from Toronto? She also was gaslit, like sort of sent
Not
home.
not Sanjina. No, no, no.
No, it was anyway. There was also another
CC
Canadian queen.
Superstar? No, no, no. I'm thinking of someone else.
No,
Never mind. Yeah.
but there was another Canadian queen who was known to be super
Oh,
talented
Halal
in
Bay. Halal
Halal
Bay.
Bay. They
Ah,
like there
justice for
was
Halal
no way.
Bay.
Hello, Justice for Life. They were not gonna let her like survive. Like there was
Advance.
no way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's in Halal had like a more interesting aesthetic and viewpoint than Pasty, but still like it's feeling very that.
Yeah.
Anyway, um
Anyway.
uh because she gets the most votes, she gets to pick the stalls with the extra fabrics because this week's challenge is a design challenge where 2 queens will be paired up with each other, and they will and pass Pasty will get to decide which of the extra materials from those challenges they get to do, which is actually I sort of like this that they had extra stuff
Yeah.
around that they were going to do. The breakout is unless you would like to do it, Evan. I
Please.
please.
I insist.
Season 1, which, whoops, I don't know what extra stuff's coming from there. Bella and Tayris. Season 2, which is probably lucky because those were some good design challenges, is Bonnie and Ellie, or an L. Skrillex and Bones gets season 3. Uh, Pasty and Katrin pick season 4. Um, Chai and Sally get season 5. And Viola and Paige get last season
Mm-hmm.
6. And so they are. Were they supposed to help each other, or were they just
They
supposed to
weren't
like?
explicitly told to, but since they were sharing the same materials, I think these pairings just kind of naturally formed in terms of support, in terms of can I have this or whatnot, because you only could work with the fabrics from your stall slash season. So that was kind of forced partnerships in a way. But that didn't stop other queens from going around and helping others in the workroom too. So, people could still give advice, people could still help out with sewing machine issues. They could do that if they so desired.
So, Evan, we
Hmm.
have some drama here in the workroom while these
Uh-huh.
queens are getting ready, doing their things. And it is
Hmm.
a journey. It is a journey that I was not that interested in taking. Um,
That's the
but
description of the season so far.
Viola says she is upset that Katrin voted for her, and she says there's no comparison between us.
Hmm.
Or did Katrin say that?
No,
Which
that
one
was
remember?
Viola. She was sad that she
Viola.
won because remember she won distasteful, but she was very upset that Katrin voted for her for. I'm sorry, she won painful,
Yes.
but she was upset that Katrin voted for her for distasteful. That's what really got her, and that's what she really wanted to hammer home about.
And I remember my reaction was, she's not wrong.
Hmm.
I am not impressed with Katrin. But you're not making good TV, Viola. You're making yourself look bad on TV. And there is like a fine line. And
Hmm.
oof. Uh,
If only she had something Wong to guide her on how to not handle yourself on TV. She could have given a master class on that, let me tell you.
oh, there's a
But
long line of queens that she could have like ignored how
I
they've
know.
done on many franchises.
Mm,
Oh boy. Did you have any other thoughts of this long workroom day and
uh,
whatever was
just
going
during
on?
just the work, just the actual sit downs, because Rue goes and looks at all of their designs and whatnot. That's really kind of the biggest thing that I got from one of my favorite things I want to call out is that she's talking to young Bella, who was in the bottom last week, and she says, "You just need to go let it all out. You just need to just let it out." And then young Bella goes, "Okay." It's like, all right, girl, that's the enthusiasm we're looking for. During that walk room, I also learned that Tayris is actually kind of a charmer.
Yeah.
She's like goofy. She's doing like the yes, no, maybe, which Rue loves. She's just kind of jumbling her messages. It's very fun banter. There's a very good energy from there. And also, Celexa, I wasn't sure what her read was on her initially, but she's just kind of a wackadoo. Like, she kind of presents as kind of a fashiony queen, but no, she's just a goofball. And I kind of got that energy and learned that about her during the walkthrough. So all of those things just kind of played in together. I thought that was pretty nice. Other queens, I've heard some people say that I think Bones has a good aesthetic. I just think she's boring, and I don't disagree. She doesn't have the biggest personality, and yes, there is something on her face, but I will say that overall, it's still a good insight into everything. Viola just because all of Viola's insecurities that happen in this episode carry over into the next day when they start filming
Yes.
that too. If we want to go there, unless there's anything else you wanted to hit.
I thought the only other interesting things was they really set up Pasty not being able to sew, which I will say, why go on the show? Like, well, how many times does this have to happen? You are
Hmm.
giving the producers an excuse to find a way to send you home. Like,
Hmm.
I didn't really get it. But also she's doing something difficult, which we'll talk about. She's making a cat suit that is not easy. Like, she's
Right.
not taking a freaking corset and just hot gluing shit to it. But anyway,
Hmm.
we'll get there. I thought they gave a really interesting. I don't know if Neon Bella was talking. I think she was talking to another queen about this. How that from the age of 12 to 16, she lived uh, in Africa. Am I right?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which was really interesting in that it took her a long time when she came home to be comfortable being herself because basically she was made to feel that her feminine side when she was in Africa was not acceptable. And
Hmm.
I'm sort of happy for her that she's found herself and her identity back in the UK. We find out that Chanel O'Connor taught Bonnie how to sew. I don't know if that's a good thing. Um, and then we find out that Ellie is a uni student in fashion. That is, she's a fashion student. and
And
I
she's
just
skipping
want,
classes to be here. Yeah.
yeah, and I'm like, do they not have hair gel or a hair product? L? Like, can we do something? Anyway. Um, and I think Rue has a joke about corsets or something. Like she says, like she's seen a lot of corsets over 17 years or something. There was like a little
Yeah.
joke about that. Anyway, I think Viola and Katrin are back at it on this second day.
Yes, they are. I can't remember what Katrin was specifically teasing her about because I think Viola's kind of going around helping people with it, and I think Katrin says something about like, well, you should be focused on your own outfit first. And Viola, to get into it, Viola just kind of is all over the place. She's angry and pissed in one second, and then she's like, I just don't know how to process my feelings in public like this the next, and it's just kind of just going through the speed running the pressures of filming a television show and all of the demands of production
Yeah.
emotions in one go. Greg, what was your feelings about this? What was your take on this?
Well, I believe it started off because Viola was going around helping some queens and not helping others. And I think
Yes.
Katrin was the queen who called her out on it, clearly
Mhm.
looking for screen time. And Viola kindly says, I didn't think she was being dramatic. She's like, I'll help my friends. Like, why would Viola help someone who's already voted her like, a pain in the ass? I sort
Right.
of get that. And then it comes up that Katrin did not like Viola's look that she made
Mhm.
last week, the weed look, which, by the way, if you want to criticize Viola as being a drama queen and having, wigs from 2021 or 22, that's fine. But that dress was incredible. And she made
Right.
it herself and it was
Right.
fashion. And I literally wrote, I mean, Katrin, I question your taste. Like,
Right.
to not know that that wasn't good is wild to me. Like, it's just dumb. It's like you're making yourself look ignorant. I don't know. Anyway, but then of course Viola disses Bonnie and Patsy in the same like 10 minutes.
Breath.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, girl, you've been on reality television. You know that there are cameras everywhere. You should never be saying this unless it's in the confessional and the episode is over and you think it's not going to hurt you. But to just say it in the word, what are you doing? Like, just, oh.
It's bad.
Anyway,
It's real bad. It's
yeah.
real bad. Yes. And I think that's around the time when young Bella comes up with her lie that she gets to say about like, taking all this time to cry in front of the cameras, and she says, "quote You cannot make a sweater out of tears." Which is like, I think there's some truth to that. And
Yeah.
while this is going on, Pasty, Greg's favorite queen, also seems to be pressed about her look not coming together and other stuff there. It's lots of drama. It is a surprising amount of drama, and I think maybe even the drama outweighs the quality of some of the garbage that we get to see when we get to the runway.
Yes. It is Rumble in the Jumble Eleganza. And before it starts, Rue comes out and she looks great. I love
Uh-huh.
this look. Did you like it?
Absolutely.
I
I thought it
also
was. Oh,
go
go
ahead, I'm
ahead.
sorry. No, no, you go.
Yeah, no, lovely, lovely, lovely. It was nice to see her do something. I don't want to say necessarily more age appropriate, but I like it when she's just a little bit more daring. There's some dark parts I like, but yeah, overall very good, very good.
Also, for our listeners who did not know who this week's guest judge is, Michelle Desuarte, she was a model who famously lost her career as a runway model because she removed her shoes before walking a Gucci 2002 ready-to-wear show where the catwalk was covered in faux sheepskin. Like, this was a thing, I guess, back then. She's been a presenter and starred in TV comedies, but again, she started as a model. And she has a comedy bit about her encounter with Jeffrey Epstein, which you can find online if you'd like to. But the reason she's a guest judge is because right before they filmed this, she had a comedy called Spent on BBC Two. So this is
Mhm.
what we call, oh my God,
Vertical integration.
vertical integration. He got it. That's exactly what it is. He
Low
nailed it.
key
It's
though, low key, she's fantastic. She was so funny. She was so
she
fucking good. Yeah.
She did not get the producer's notes about who they were sending home or what they were doing with this episode. I loved it.
I
She was being
It
the
was so
audience, being
good.
like, this is good.
Yeah.
Up first,
Loved it.
though,
Oh god.
Skrillex.
Yeah.
Okay, what did you think of this look, Evan?
Overall, I would say the star leggings I thought were a good element. I thought the star headpiece was very craftsy, as they love to say, and it was also just a golden corset. Overall, like it worked. It was just messy for a design challenge. fine. That's kind of where I landed on it. How about you?
So here's the thing. At the beginning of the challenge, Rue says you can do your own undergarments, you can
Hmm.
whatever. I think this bodysuit, which she did not make, this sheer star thing, which was the best part of it, was something she brought. So all
Hmm.
that she made was what she added to that corset and her headpiece. So my thing is like, if you're gonna give her a pass, she was, I think, safe.
Hmm.
Why is she getting a pass for barely doing anything when a queen who makes a catsuit is lower in the bottom? I there's something, it's all about how you want to judge it to make the story work, and I get it, that's Drag Race, but this episode had a lot of them that was like, whoa. But she looked fine. I thought I liked it. I would have been excited if she made that catsuit there because she's a designer. And maybe
Right.
she made it at home. It's not pre-bought. It looks pre-bought. But anyway, that was my take.
Yeah,
Bones.
messy but safe. Yes, Bones.
What did you think of this?
I thought this was bold because I think the whole point of when you're doing a design challenge is that you want to show off that I can design, I can sew, I can do all these elements. Look how well I put all these elements together. To do something so deliberately minimal, this is effectively a panty and essentially a bra top that expands out into this giant
Yeah.
bow and it's made out of swim toys left. Like to have the knowledge to be like, this is a design challenge and I'm going minimal and this is what I'm wearing. It's actually pretty brilliant. It popped on the runway. It was like, is this going to be the look I'm going to remember forever? No, she's not going to be the next Utica. But I will say, oh, in terms of impact, in terms of effect, in terms of design, solid. I was impressed with this. I thought this should have been at the top.
I thought it was a fun graphic look. I
Hmm.
thought it worked for her. As she said, she's, I'm just a twink up for a good time. So she knows what's going on. But I thought it was maybe a bit too simple, but sometimes
Hmm.
simple works. Everyone can remember the Madonna runway where Valentina literally just recreated by just covering her chest and her bottom a
Yeah.
censored look for Madonna. I mean, if it's memorable and it pops, it works. I thought for a queen who had told everyone, including the viewers in confessionals, that she's not a seamstress, I thought she showed taste, and I thought she showed that she had an eye, and I thought that was impressive. Like it's good for long term for her.
Is that kind of thing where I think you can always suss out intent with some of these because if someone
Yeah,
went minimal and it's just like I did minimal because that's all I know well how to do, that's okay. You could tell this is intent because she could go garish. You know she could go further, but she made the explicit decision. It's just like there was confidence in the design.
yeah.
The little painting accents for the cartoony elements to it worked out incredibly. I'm still a ride or die Bones at this point in the season, and
Same.
she's done nothing. She's done nothing to dissuade me. So yeah.
Up next was our favorite little Belfast queen, Elle Vosk. I liked the boa, but the dress I thought was super messy. Like
Oh,
for a design queen, I thought it was a mess.
it was bad. It was outright bad. And the problem is that whenever you have this pool tart blue fabric material, it's just going to look cheap. There's almost
Yeah,
nothing you can do to make it not look cheap. And actually, I take it back. There's one thing you could do to make it look even cheaper, and that's where the wig that she had. I hated this fucking wig so much. What a terrible wig line. It looks so flat and bad, and the color did not work at all. Just all of it was just shit. I was thoroughly disappointed with this look, if I'm being full real.
Up next was Bonnie and Clyde,
In
who
case you forgot.
who might have taken some bad advice from Chanel O'Connor. Um, I did not like that. I immediately clocked how bad the bottom part of it was.
Hmm.
Uh, and the worst part about it is the longer you looked at it, the worse it got. So if
Hmm.
she had just quickly walked by you, you were like, okay, that's like a gown or what. But the
Yeah.
longer you looked, it was like, oof. Any
Yeah.
thoughts on Bonnie's look?
I will never get over the hanging fur tassels thing. I don't think there's a way to make that look great. I'm sure there is. I'm sure there's a queen out there who could show us and show me, but God, it was so bad. And also I don't want to be that guy. I think the updo hair was kind of ill-fitting for this look. I don't know what it
Yeah.
was about it, but that her face looked like it was transported from another look entirely, and it just collectively it didn't work together. So yeah.
Up next was Tayris, and I literally wrote super, super easy bodysuit.
Hmm.
Like, I didn't think this was hard for her to make at all. I thought it looked okay. I think if they really wanted to get rid of her, they could have put her lower in the bottom. I thought it was fun. I mean, in any other season, on another franchise, she would have been low. It was fun. Here, they decided it was fine. What did you think?
Yeah. I low key agree, because it was anything to write home about. No, was it solidly constructed for what it was? Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll give it that. There were some disasters on this runway, and this was not a disaster. It was just safe slash low effort. That's really all it was. Yeah.
And more interesting is her partner with the materials, who was up next, was Neon Bella. And I wrote the skirt is but I thought it was more impactful than what Tayris did. I thought it popped more on the runway.
Credit to our girl when she said, when she was talking about inspiration, she says, "quote It's giving Mommy Wata," and I'm like,
Yeah.
that,
And she hadn't
choice
even
reference
seen All
there.
Stars.
Right, that's the
It
best
hadn't even
part.
filmed.
Yeah, and so I will say that, if the note I had is cute for what it is, and I think that's actually a
Yes.
compliment because, especially with the teardrop stuff coming out of her head, that could have looked a lot worse than it did. It still felt like a safe look, but also I was kind of happy for her. I thought she kind of turned it out a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, this would
Uh
win in Down Under.
oh, it probably, you know what? It would have won on Thailand. Um
Yeah.
Up next was Catherine Feelings, and I have to be honest, I like this. I maybe would have added some fabric to the black top, the because it was a little plain to me. But it was impactful. And then she said that it's barely hanging on by a thread. And I almost like, girl, why tell me that? Like, I don't, none of us want to hear this. Like, let
Hmm.
us just think it was better than it was. Because it took me 4 years to find out that Naomi Smalls' design winning challenge that she made on Drag Race season 8 was actually barely being kept together. And and I was glad I learned it 4 years later because I loved it for like, years on end.
Hmm.
Girl, shut up, all of you guys. Be quiet. Don't give away the
Yes.
secrets. What did you think?
I thought it was fine. I thought, again, the bottom of the dress with the mixed textures was the best part of it. I do think that that silvery top was fine. We've just seen it before. I'll be this. I made that joke the last look. This does look like a very down under look, if I'm being fully real with you.
Yeah.
But that said, it was fine. I don't think it needed to be in the top necessarily, but you know what? I think it's for what it was. It was perfectly acceptable. I'm gonna forget about this look tomorrow.
Oh boy.
Oh
Okay, Evan.
boy.
They
Oh
could
boy.
do, they want her to go home so bad.
So bad.
So, Pasty trips coming out on the runway. Do you know how many queens have tripped coming out and they've never shown it and they just cut it away? Nope. They want you to know that she's not a good queen and it's
Hmm.
time to go. But she walks out, and I thought it was well made. Like,
Hmm.
yes, we eventually discover that her knees are up, but that's just because she hasn't stretched it over her leg. Like, it's not it she didn't cut it wrong. It's literally just where it's on her
There's
body.
sleeves, there's flares, there's actual design to the hips and waist. Like there's a lot of elements going on here with it. Like it ain't easy, but yeah.
And I'll say this, if you wanted to have her low because of the makeup and the wig, okay, but make it about that. Don't make
Hmm.
it's hard to do this. I've literally watched seasons of Michelle telling queens how hard it is to make these. Wild. Uh
Hmm.
Up next is page 3. And she had, by the way, there had been a very minimal narrative storyline where she had talked about how she doesn't really sew and she's put outfits together, but she's a little nervous. And I thought she sort of killed it a little bit. Like she made it work. It wasn't breathtaking or like groundbreaking, but she made it work with the reveal. What did you think?
I listen. If you're gonna be Sasha Colby's daughter, I'm gonna have a lot of expectations of you. I'm just gonna put that out there. I will say
Yeah,
the one thing when she was showing off her design look, because there's just two elements. There was the initial dress that kind of had the whole cutouts there, and then she shed that for kind of this bikini top look and kind of this bluish toxic fabric kind of deal.
yeah,
When she showed the drawing of it, there was like a circle for the breast, there was a circle for the legs, like there was these different cutouts in places. Low key, it was giving Holland season one, win this dress if you really want to. I'm so sorry.
yeah.
But I will say, in the final result of what she showed on the runway, all we really saw was kind of this slit right down the front, this kind of like very solid stripe, and then there was just this cutout right in the crotch area or in the legs, and it just felt weird. It didn't feel placed properly, and so I thought that was kind of weird. Like it was very, very distinct. The whole thing was. Then she took that off and revealed, like, yep, here's kind of the bra and panties and gloves that I made. It was fine. It was not a knockout for me, if I'm being real. It was fine for what it was, but listen, if we're gonna give a pass to Tayris for her cute bodysuit, we'll give her a pass for this. It is perfectly well constructed. It just I was hoping for a little bit more pop from someone who is so clearly fashion forward.
Up next was Viola, and Viola had, when she had sat down with Rue, uh, had a very challenging look. So here's the thing. They're grading her on a curve. They say that eventually. She's this spider glamour look. And I actually thought it was fine. I didn't think it was costumey, but I I think she probably could have used another couple hours to maybe do some more to it. I didn't think it was bottom, but what did you think? Did you hate it?
Oh, it read as bad to me. I mean, because here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you're gonna do a spider look, if you're gonna do spider look, when you had the little bumble, like the little thorax thing sticking out the bottom, cute, fun, great. The actual fabrics of the dress itself, awesome. Okay, cool. I'm into it. The thing is that when it comes to the arms and the articulation of the arms, that's where it failed. Because if there was any structure to the arms, if there was any piping or any tubing or anything else like that that made them look like it was actually arms instead of just wavy noodle parts, that's one thing. But because she didn't have any of that, it just looked like this fumbly bumbly kind of swishy swashy school play kind of shit. So low key, I'm sorry, the critiques in my mind did add up in this particular instance. But
I
yeah, I
just
thought it was. Go ahead.
I just thought it was more well made than half the other looks. I just guess what are you judging on? I guess
Right.
I feel like they just judge how they want to judge to set up the show, and I think that's not their need. I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
it
The
is.
outfit itself was okay, like it was well designed, but listen, if you're gonna go the arms, you have to go all in or nothing, and they just were flimsy. And I think low key, it also made a good narrative push too for everything that was going on in the episode. I could see how
Right.
she ended up where she ended up. Yeah,
And by the way, also the guest judge complimented her on it, like
yeah,
thought that she did a good job. So that's again, every when your guest judge is seeing something else that the production isn't, like it makes it so obvious like what's going
where
on
the
in the
bias
background.
is. Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Speaking of bias, did you know that Chaiti Grant is still on the season?
How fun
She
was
is,
that?
because she's not getting any screen time. She must have the lowest um confessional count of any queen in 2 episodes. And I like her and she's doing fine, but like I don't, it's wild to me. Anyway, it was a simple gown. But the
There's
trumpet
a little
skirt I thought was really,
trumpet flare at the bottom. Right.
and I
Yep.
thought it was well made. I thought she made it look good. And she was super safe. Any other thoughts on Shy's look? Or are we also going to forget about her?
No, I mean, listen, she has two pillows on there.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
She just
Great.
added some pillows, and that we're calling it done. So you know what? She's still doing better than I would. I'll say that.
Yes. And last but certainly not least, Sally TM with a fucking amazing look. Not amazing, it's great. It's amazing
Yeah.
a little too high praise. But for what the materials were, for how much time she had, I thought she has an eye, she knows
She has a
design.
perspective. Yeah.
I was very impressed. She's not Marmalade. She's not
No.
at that level yet, but she's pretty close. Like she's pretty great.
It's kind of stunning because it's the thing. It's like so you have so much gingham, you have so much goddamn picnic fabrics and polka dots and stripes and things, and it's just so layered. She has this bodysuit, this head wrap thing. She has the one thing going over the arm, another arm is free. She's poking like there's just such editorial thought went into this, and it's just such a striking image. Like it's I don't want to necessarily say that it is Utica sleeping bag level in terms of design challenge outfits, but for especially for what we've seen on UK design challenges, this is good stuff. I thoroughly enjoyed what you put out.
I did too. I was super impressed.
Yeah.
So the judges have some decisions, Evans,
Yes, they do.
and they have Skrillex, L, Tayris, Anyang Bella, Page 3, and Chai T Grand. Thank God she's at least safe.
Hmm.
As safe. Um, I actually do you agree with these, Evan?
That's a very good question. Ultimately, I would say because let's be real. So, who are our tops and who are our bottoms? Our tops are Bones, Katrin, and Sally TM, and our
And
bottoms
then
are Bonnie, Pasty, and Viola. And
I disagree with one of them.
okay, who do you disagree with?
I actually would have had, this is going to be super controversial. I would have had Patsy safe
Uh-huh.
and I would have had uh Tayris low, and I would have had Bonnie. Well, we'll get to it, but I would have had a different bottom two.
Okay. Okay.
So, but I thought Patsy, for what she did in making that outfit, deserved to be safe. And that on
Yeah.
another franchise, she would have been safe.
And not to jump ahead too much, but during her critiques, my God, she can volley with them. She is like, she's in it. She's like having fun. She's like a very exciting personality to have around. Like she has no illusions about what's going on, but like she's up to play. Like I low key like respect her a lot for being able to push through the week she had last week and still have a smile on her face throughout all of this. Like I was a little bit impressed with her, if I'm gonna be honest.
So during the judges' critiques, I only had two notes.
Okay.
My first note was Rue has mentioned this now twice. She keeps going with this Queen of Soho branding that Bones has never asked for, that she's been
Hmm.
given by other queens, she's been given by promoters. And Bones makes it very clear that she's not arrogant. It's part of my job to have everyone touch me, she sort of jokes.
Hmm.
And I thought I was actually surprised the editors kept it in because it
Hmm.
makes it look like Rue is trying to do a narrative with Bones, and Bones is not having it. And she's not
Hmm.
going to go down that road. And that's good because it shows that Bones is presenting, but it also doesn't make Rue look great.
Hmm.
And then also, again, if you want to put Viola in the bottom, fine, but you are judging her on a curve. Like what she did and how she made that outfit is 10 times better than the other queens. And the criticism that Rue is giving her is just so tough compared to everybody else in the cast. It's like they
Hmm.
want to set this up. It's like it's almost like the producers saw in the workroom how dramatic everything was going, Evan. I get it, that's their job, but it doesn't make for
Yeah.
good TV when it's this obvious. Like
Right.
that's my problem. Do you agree or
Yeah.
disagree?
No, I fully agree. And this is the kind of thing where uh I'll give credit to Queens, at least for Bones, because she's so young. As far as I can tell, this is her first time on TV, but she has a pretty good idea of seeing where the cards are laying. And I think that's a skill
Yeah.
in of itself to understand how you are being perceived. And I think, like, if you think about Yuhua or someone else like that, there are queens who know for a fact they're going to enter a season and not going to win it. And they can play into that, or they could be like, I'm going to be the most eloquent loser of all time. Like Sminty left very early on in her season, gave us the twerking runway, has been back multiple times since then. She's in the universe now. Like it's you know how to play that thing as necessary. Some people you realize it's just a game show. This is all just a big game show at the end of the day. So credit to be to where they is. I think the worst part about Viola's whole thing is that she was on Queen of the Universe. As far as I
She
remember,
should
she didn't make it very far. But she knows how television narratives work at this point. So to see her crash out as much as she does is just kind of a wild thing where it's like, I don't know how much of this is conscious because she wants more screen time, or maybe she's just literally not at that level or just not able to withstand this particular kind of pressure cooker. I don't know. But it's interesting.
I think Bones, who's 20, was 25 when they shot this. I don't know if she's 26 now. And listen, we have 8 more episodes to go. She
Yes,
might,
we do. Ugh.
show us something else. At the moment, she is showing she is a bit more mature than most people her
Yeah.
age. Not to generalize, which I think is really impressive. And she also isn't like hogging the spotlight, which I think is really smart if you're on a show like this to not try to hog it. Viola is, remember, she's still only 22, and she was on that
Right.
show when she was 18. And I don't know, dude, like, oof. Anyway,
Anyway,
I don't remember what if there was anything really going on in the workroom. Do you?
I didn't have any specific notes. Nothing I guess really stood out to me. I will say though, when they cut back to the judges to the "what do y'all think" kind of thing,
Yeah.
I will say that I can't remember who had it said it, but I think they were talking explicitly about Viola saying, "Imagine saying that the worst day of your life was yesterday, and then you're wearing that today. Like, holy shit, that was such a goddamn
That had to be Alan
read."
Carr. That sounds like an
Yeah,
Alan Carr line.
no, that was
Yeah.
Graham Norton this episode, but yeah, that
Oh,
was it
Graham,
was
sorry.
yeah, but like, oh my God, incredible read. Greg, we're back on the main stage. Who is our winner? Who is in the bottom? What shakes out? What we got?
Our very deserved winner is Sally TM. Super happy for her. She totally deserves it. And Bones seems totally fine being high with her, like it's not upset at all.
At
And
all?
Katrin is safe. So our bottom queens, and then shockingly to me, Bonnie is safe.
Mhm.
Um, And our bottom queens are Pasty versus Viola, and they give us a lip sync. And they
Hmm.
ruin a song that I love by Sophie Ellis Bextor, Heartbreak, Bring Me a Dancer.
Make me a
And
dancer. Yeah.
I love this song, and I am so sorry, Sophie.
I'm
I
so sorry.
I'm I'm so sorry.
Sorry.
You will not be putting clips of this on social media. So excited that your song got played on Drag Race because this lip sync sucked. What did you think, Evan?
You know, and for anyone that's following the Worldwide T LLC empire that we have going on over here, it's just weird how sometimes things happen in parallel. And it's interesting too that UK, the new season of UK and the new season of Spania are in parallel with each other because
Yeah,
man, two straight episodes of bad lip syncs, baby. I don't know how they managed to pull it off, but we're just living parallel lives in parallel lanes. It was bad. It was a bad lip sync from bad performers. And I kind of felt bad, dude, because again, Pasty tried, but like that's
yeah,
as most I could say. Like they I don't think, unlike the our Spania episode, look for that coverage separately, by the way, where the queens just apparently didn't know the fucking words. Here they knew the words. It was so tired. It was just the same shit we've seen before. There was just not that impulse or actual life or death, I could be eliminated right now kind of moment. It was pretty bland. It kind of was a summation of everything I was feeling so far this season, which is that I don't think this is a great season of Drag Race that's happening before us right now. I could be swayed like that. Brazil season one turned it around after two really bad openers, but it's gonna be a rough journey, Greg. I gotta be honest. I'm not excited for what is about to shake out with whatever's
but you know
happening
what?
here.
You know what,
What?
listeners and viewers, we still want you to tune in.
We still
We
want
know
you to
it might
tune
not be
in.
great, but we're gonna go on this journey together.
We're gonna watch
Life
it
it,
for you. We're gonna
yeah,
watch it for you.
life is tough enough, but let's endure this. Like literally, ice commanders are
At
going
our
from
doors.
are grappling, and coming down from Black Hawk helicopters, but we're gonna cover Drag Race UK for you.
Damn
We are
right.
going to do
Hell
this.
or high water. Viola, we
Um,
have you. We have your back. We don't, but
we have
still.
your back. Yeah. So, Pasty goes home.
Wang.
Uh, and what was her reaction, Evan? How did she even take it all?
I can't explicitly remember. She seemed to, I think, take it pretty on the nose pretty well. I think she, having been in the bottom 2 weeks in a row, like especially the first two episodes, you kind of know what narratives are being formed against you.
Yeah.
But she handles it pretty well. Like she seems to be smiling. She's not, like the queens are upset. This is the first actual elimination, but no lucky cow to save her this time. Now she, as she describes herself, she's the unlucky cow. And you know what? And I get that. I understand. I could see her coming back in some form, though. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
You know what? Down the road, I can't wait to
Down
see
the
her
under.
on Down Race, Drag Race Down Under versus the World Four. I can't
Yeah.
wait.
Who
Maybe
knows?
maybe if we still get Canada versus the World, she'll be another first out. But
Yeah.
I liked her. I thought she seemed like a queen you'd want to like talk to, and she seemed like down to earth and sort of hip and like just I don't know. I still feel like she
Yeah.
got a bad edit and a bad run, but she did her best.
Yes,
Anyway,
she did. Anyway,
Evan, who is winning Drag Race UK season 7?
I mean it's Bones. Bones is winning. I will be shocked if anything happens that prevents that from happening. I could be wrong. I could very be wrong. I have been wrong before, but I think in my bones it's Bones. What about you?
I think in my bones it's Bones. These BBC producers like to have their comedy queens, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't think Bones is a comedy queen. I don't think she's gonna
Nope.
win an acting challenge, so I'm a little scared. But we're gonna get to the end and we're gonna find out, and we're going to do
If
it
it it's
together.
it if it's Katrine feelings, I swear to fucking God, Greg. I don't know what's gonna happen. But we will see. We will
If
find
it's
out.
Katrin Feelings, she will have the least number of followers for any UK winner in the entire franchise history. Like there is no way.
Strap in,
Oy.
everybody. It's gonna be a fun ride.
Yes.
But as always, please, if you have thoughts or your own feelings as well on the YouTube, leave the comments below. Please, if you feel the need, please feel free to leave us a review in the Spotify and the Apple. Feel free to swing on by our Instagram or our Bluesky where we post some other fun stuff as well. It's all happening. Our Spania coverage is happening. Our Slasian coverage is happening. And if you have any thoughts or ideas, worldwideteapodcast@gmail.com. Let us know. We're coming up on 1 year of doing this, and I'm so happy that we're still doing it.
Woo!
It's just the power, because you know what? We're gonna keep doing it as long as they keep doing Drag Race seasons, and baby, they ain't stopping anytime soon.
Yeah.
No, they are not. Greg, it's always a pleasure. I will catch you next week, good sir.
See you later, guys.
All right, bye bye.